Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Give me a second. Oh yeah, and then like if you've spent 2 months or 3 months or 5 months on a first draft, you've sunk in all of this labor into it, and it's so painful to then edit and to cut stuff, right? And like so there are all sorts of problems with spending too much, putting too much effort into a first draft, and sunken cost is a big one. Trying to know what it is before you've even finished a first draft, like to know what it's about before you finish a first draft, I think is folly. Although I do it all the time. So yeah, so my current process is I'm trying to write a garbage, like this is not Lynn Tillman, who wrote that book, Bird by Bird or whatever. Have you read this? It's like real corny advice about writing, but there's a great passage on how important it is to write shitty first drafts. And so that's currently what I'm doing is like, I would say 30 to 90 minutes of just basically typing. I don't know if the dates are quite lining up correctly here, but like I think I read Mary Ruffle on Fear. Have you read that essay or lecture? It's in Madness, Rack, and Honey, and she says this thing about how like in every profession of like action, like firefighter and like jet pilot or whatever, doctor, like whatever, the way that you deal with fear is you've just had these routines drilled into you, and there's this passage about like, like I asked the jet pilot about the time that he woke up plummeting toward the ground and like 5,000 feet above the ground and plummeting toward it, and he said, like I don't even remember, like air brakes and pull up, air brakes and pull up,
right, air brakes and pull up.
The point is, it had been drilled into him, and like so he didn't have his rational brain, but he had the routine that had been drilled into him beyond the rational, right? And so I started, and that became the sort of guiding principle for my writing practice, which was like establish a fucking routine and stick to it, so that even if writing is a nightmare, you still feel bad for not, if you skip the routine, you feel ill, or you feel like something's just wrong. And so there's this like instant negative feedback if you don't do it, right? Because it's so, it's like, I think one of the reasons why this interview series appealed to me so much is that I've been sort of on the warpath about process for a long time, because I feel like that my like freshman and sophomore year of college, I had a very superstitious process, and that was borderline life ruining. Like the lowest emotional point of my life was when I was 19, and it was all writing related. I think it's pretty common at the workshop for like the poets to feel like they don't work hard enough, and they don't work as hard as the fiction writers, and the fiction writers feel like they're not as pure of heart as the poets or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just this very stupid dichotomy thing. But identities are very fragile here, and so you just cling to one. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My name is Michael Glaviano. I am 27 years old. I'm from a suburb of New Orleans, Louisiana called Metairie. And I've been here this is my fourth year here, starting my fourth year. And I went into her office and I was just like, I had like a fucking nervous breakdown. I was like crying and like just couldn't write and couldn't not write, and eventually she was like, Michael, everybody's got their shit sandwich that they're trying to wolf down.